What up, what up? Back at it again. Real Fans Podcast. Here to bring you news from the fans' perspective. I'm your boy Gabe. That's Julian. Right there. Julian.
Right here. What's up, people? What's up?
Lots of stuff going on. We're in the middle of NBA playoffs. We're going to talk about a little, we always got to talk about NFL because the NFL is always making news. NHL, a little soccer talk. But let's start with the NBA games because we had 2 games played. Middle of a series right now where I think the Golden State Warriors are up. They're 3. I think the series is 3-2. They're playing tonight, actually, Game 6 in Boston. But let's recap Game 4, Game 5. Julian, I don't know how much of the games you've been watching, but I have thoughts on both Game 4 and Game 5. Let me. What do you have so far in the series?
Yeah, I mean, I did not expect Warriors to win 2 games away. I mean, not 2 games away. To take the lead back. I guess getting those road wins are so huge, obviously. And I don't think I've ever seen so many road wins in a season in the playoffs like this in a long time. At least that I can think of at the top of my head. Usually, man, home court is just run supreme. And like this series, this whole like playoff season so far is just like doesn't even matter, man. You're seeing so many teams losing at home. And and we'll see if Warriors can close it away. I don't think so. I see this going to Game 7 personally. But yeah, what do you think, Gabe? What's your thoughts?
So I watched both games, Game 4, Game 5. Game 4 was pretty ugly. I think Boston had the lead up going into the second half, but they had that second and third quarter is kind of the transition when Golden State kind of took over. My takeaway from Game 4, I saw Steph tired. He looked like tired. He was putting up bricks. I think it was one of his worst shooting games of the playoffs, of the series. Definitely the series. I saw Jason Tatum tired as hell. So Game 4 was pretty awful to watch because I think they ended up losing. Let me look at the score because I got to remember what the score was.
107-97.
Yeah, that game. So, and it's weird because games now, 20-point leads, when team goes up and they're going to run, there's a 20-point lead in the middle of the series. Like, in the NBA, you can't like fall asleep like this game's over. It's over at halftime. Like, not really. Like, teams go on 20-point runs, 24-point runs, and they're able to come back and make it competitive. Game 4, I feel like Boston had that first quarter. Then that second and third, Golden State took over, although they looked tired and they were playing pretty bad. Draymond Green was awful. And Golden State pulled it out. It's a pretty ugly game 4. Game 5 was a little bit more competitive. I wouldn't say competitive. Golden State, they're playing at home Game 5. They were able to shoot better. They came out the gate better. Scoring more. I don't think the Boston Celtics like tied the game till like halftime or like almost the start of the third quarter. It was like they didn't take a lead till late. And Golden State played more complete. I think in this series what we're seeing is Golden State's a little bit deeper. Golden State's playing a little bit deeper. I think they're going deeper in their roster a little bit, like 1 or 2 extra guys. With the Boston Celtics, it's like their starters are their starters. They're playing their 5 guys, and they have 1 or 2 guys that come in to sub, and that's it. So I think Boston has to play. Boston's a more complete team in my eyes. Like they play better complete basketball as far as defensive and offensively. But Golden State is just finding a way. I think Golden State has a couple more options than the Celtics do. I don't know if there's not really anybody to blame. It's just I think Golden State somehow. I feel like Steph Curry is like dragging.
Your boy Draymond Green dropped 2 points in Game 4.
Yeah, no, he's playing god awful. It was awful. It was bad. I think Golden State. I think Steph Curry is going to drag. He's going to all this talk about him not being.
He actually real quick. Draymond Green had a big game. Yeah. Game 5, 8 points, big game.
I mean, the guy was dominating.
He was He was eating with his 7 rebounds and 8 points. Fucking eating,
Um,
bro.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like Steph Curry's dragging the Warriors. Like Draymond, I've seen the better Draymond, and I don't think of Draymond as an offensive guy. Like, obviously, he's defensive first.
Bro,
He does play
7
well,
rebounds.
but
Andrew Wiggins had 13 rebounds in game
yeah,
5
that's
as a
another thing too.
forward.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When Andrew Wiggins, off the bench is to give him more help. You can argue that Andrew Wiggins might be. Am I gonna say it? Might be their second or third best player for the Golden State
Oh,
Warriors right now.
I
That's
would say
pretty crazy.
so. I mean, at least third.
Yeah, at least third. At
At
least
least
third.
third. I mean, who else are you going to put up there?
And
Draymond, who's been averaging like what 5 points a game, like this whole.
I'm not gonna be here to give you the Andrew Wiggins gospel because I think Andrew Wiggins is just another player. A lot of people they try to put him on a pedestal or try to lift him up to some greatness.
He's a product of the team that he's on.
Yeah, and I think he's a fine player. Like he's a decent NBA player, but we see like what you can do when you take that secondary role or tertiary role where you don't have to be the main guy. Right? You don't have to be the guy. There's no pressure on you. Nobody's expecting you to do anything. You just play basketball. Like you see how pretty good players can accelerate or can rise to the occasion, right? Because there's no pressure on him. Nobody is expecting Andrew Wiggins to put up 40. So, you know what I mean? If he does, or he puts up 26, he puts up 30. It's like, oh wow, look at him. He's coming off the bench, giving points or whatever. So that's okay. That's kind of a little surprise, I guess, of the series so far of Golden State is Andrew Wiggins actually playing pretty well. That's kind of a surprise. It's weird. So you talk about Game 7. You think this is a game pushed to Game 7 because they're playing tonight. Like I said, they're playing in Boston on the road. Golden State is on the road in Boston. Game 6. They could close it out. I could see a scenario where Golden State get pushed to Game 7 because I still think the Celtics have the answer. Like they play well defensively. You know what I mean? Like Robert Williams is so huge for them, the center for the Celtics. He's so big for them. I do think they play well. They play well zone. They play well switching. Udoka is a master at adjusting. I think they do have the code to unlock the Golden State Warriors. This is not the Golden State Warriors old. This is not like a super scary team. We seen them beat them. And man, it's tough. I don't know. How do you feel about like home teams? Like, it's always tough for me in the playoffs to be like bet against the home team. But like you said earlier, we've seen so many wins on the road. Like I don't know how you feel about the NBA playoffs overall. With road teams winning so much, with games being blown out, it seems like if you lose by 30. There's not like really any close games.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of crazy, like how it's been like that, and I don't know if it's just really just a product of where the league is now, where it's just becoming like a primarily offensive league. So it's like you're getting in those situations where you're losing by 30s because maybe your team's just having an off day, and then you're not really putting forward the defense that needs to be done to prevent such a large blowout. You know what I mean? So I don't know if maybe that could be playing a factor, just the era that we live in where people just want to shoot constantly. That could be a thought. I don't know how true that could possibly be. But yeah, I mean, I do enjoy though how seeing that like kind of how many upsets there've been on the road for how many upsets for the road teams have been. It makes it a little bit more interesting. It makes it kind of feel like you don't know who's necessarily going to win versus before. It's like home court advantage is so big. Like how many series have we seen like go to Game 7 and every single win was from the home team? I've seen that countless times. And like I said, I think it makes it a little bit more interesting. But I do think in this case, Boston's going to bounce back. But I don't know. It's going to be tough because I said this even before the series. It's like if you can't stop Steph, I don't know what Boston can do. If you can't stop the shooting and if they get hot, I don't know what you can do to stop them. Like unless you just tighten up. I mean,
they did in Game 4. They definitely did. Like he did not shoot well in Game 4, and the Warriors still pulled it out. So that's why I said, like, I think they have the code to unlock the Warriors. They have the code to beat the Warriors. I I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I think Tatum is a good guy. He's a nice to have. He is definitely their best offensive worker. Um, but like I said, I've seen him put up bricks. He
The
has a
funny thing
weird,
is, like you said, they
you know.
stopped Steph, but Steph still dropped 29 points.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Tatum shoots well. He shoots well from three. He has this weird thing where he like shoots mid. He has this weird mid game. It's like this. I think I saw a stat something that he hasn't dunked or attempted to dunk this entire series or something. Like you haven't seen him dunk. You seen alley oops. You see whatever. You seen not alley oops. You seen him drive and throw up a floater or whatever. But you haven't seen him dunk yet. So like his game is not definitely down. Mid game outside the little outside the paint, which is weird because Boston is physically the bigger team, right? Like Steph Curry is like what 6'3" or something. All these guys are like 6'6".
6'1", something like that.
No, he's a little taller than that.
No,
So
I'm telling you.
it's weird that Boston's definitely the bigger team. They're physically the bigger team. I think they play better.
6'2", we're in the middle.
Oh, okay, whatever. It's 6'2", 6'3". I think they kind of lie on those stats a little bit on the bio. So
Yeah.
so it's weird. Like he has a weird mid game. Tatum is their best offensive guy, but I don't think he's getting any help. I think Jaylen Brown's a little bit overrated. I'm sorry. I think he's a little bit over. He's just to me, he's just a regular guy. He's not really that special. He does help them out. He's like a good, Chris Middleton type, to your Giannis, which I'm not going to say Tatum is Giannis. I'm just saying for a number two, Brown's okay. But that's what I said. Like, I think.
I mean, that's the Celtics' MO though. Is how many of them are like special? And besides Tatum,
Tatum took the step this year, and I think this is time to prove.
I mean, but besides him, like, do you want to throw Marcus Smart in there? Is he special to you? Like,
I think I'm not saying Marcus. Oh, I do not like Marcus Smart. I think he's one of the dumbest players. He's the most annoying player to watch. One of them, but he might be their second best player on the Celtics. As much as I want to hate him, I mean, he is. I mean,
he played a factor coming back after being gone against the Heat.
He does shoot well. He does, play defense. I'm not saying he's a fucking decoy, as some people want to raise him to, but he does play well on both sides of the ball for them. He's good on three.
He ain't no Draymond.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not. he's not disappearing. Maybe he'll put up some bricks, but he's not disappearing. Like he's definitely productive for the team or whatever. So it's weird. So let's talk about Game 6 tonight. You think they're going to Game 7? You think Boston's gonna hold it at home and send them or what?
Yeah, I think Boston's going to hold it. At the end of the day, I get that road teams have been, like I said, I think it's been exciting seeing road teams win. But I just think it's one of those moments where obviously it's win or go home, and you're home right now. So I think they close it out, and it's been alternating the whole series. So no one's won back to back. So this is if it follows that trend, Boston should win tonight. But yeah, I mean, I have a feeling it's going to go to Game 7. I don't think Golden State's going to close it out here. I think they're going to obviously, like, when your back's to the wall, they're just going to, I'd imagine they're going to tighten up. I mean, this has been a relatively low scoring series, like low 100s compared to the rest of the playoffs, which is kind of what I expected from a Celtics team. But yeah, I don't know. I like Boston at home, knowing that they have to win.
And I just looked it up on FanDuel. I think Boston's the favorite, 3.5 points. They're the favorite to win by 3.5 points.
I would take that.
Man, you really? I mean, let me see the plus.
I mean, 3.5 points is essentially just like
minus 14,
they're going to win.
Minus 114. I mean, that's not real a lot. They're saying it's going to be.
I mean, yeah, it's not a huge odds, but like plus I mean, -3 is like they're basically saying they're just going to win the game. Like, that's so close.
Man. My gut feeling is always to go with the home team, but man, we've seen so many road disappointments.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised seeing Golden State win. I'll say that.
I'm going to stick with my previous prediction. Warriors in 6. That's what I said at the beginning of the series. I think the Warriors can pull out a win in Boston tonight.
Warriors in 6.
Okay, I'm not a fan of either team. I definitely want to see the Boston Celtics lose. Especially, it'd be delicious if they lose at home. That'll be delicious.
Delicious.
Seeing that they beat my Miami Heat at home. I had seen them get their stupid awards. Larry Bryan, Bob Cousy, whatever the fuck. Like
random ass awards that they always make. It's like in college football, like you always see like these random ass awards, and it's just like the number one community driven player in Northwest Arkansas, the Ford Jim Smith Award, like some random shit. It's always a. But let's go switch over to the other finals that are going on right now on the ice. And as the NHL Stanley Cup Finals going on this now, were you able to catch the game last night?
No, I wasn't able to catch the game.
Or was it last night? Am I crazy?
Yeah, I didn't.
You didn't watch?
I know the series starts because they played. No, they played. Yeah, they did play last night.
They only did game one. It was.
Yeah, it was only game one. They just started. But the Avalanche coming in, I think they were the team of the West.
Yeah, it was last night. I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew.
I think I've heard the Avalanche compared to like what the Florida Panthers should be in the East is what the Avalanche are in the West. They score a ton. They score a lot. They've been dominant all year, so like this is not a surprise for Colorado Avalanche to be in there. Tampa Bay Lightning have also played very well, so they're very deserving to be there. I think I was talking to my family. I was talking to my uncle, who has season tickets, and I was like, I mean, the Lightning, they're just good. I mean, this is one of the greatest like dynasties, hockey dynasties, Florida dynasties that there is. They're obviously showing up their third. Was it third? They went back to back, so this is their third one in a row.
This is for the three-peat. It'd be the first time in NHL history that a team hits a three-peat,
which is pretty crazy because they were also injured. They weren't playing. I thought last year's team was really good because
they were down. They were against the Rangers. They were down 3-2, and against the Maple Leafs, they're down 3-2. I mean, they swept the Panthers, but outside of that, they've been down throughout the playoffs. This, like I said, besides the beating they put on the Cats. But I mean, like you said, the Avalanche have been I don't know what it is about the media, but they've been dick riding the Avalanche like the past 2 years. Avalanche have been really good these past 2 years. And they just love them. Me personally, I'm kind of rooting for the Lightning, even though the Lightning is our rivals. As a Panthers fan, I still want a Florida team to win it. And like I said, if they win, I mean, this is history being made. The first team ever to hit a three-peat in hockey, and we've talked about before. I mean, how difficult it is to do that in this sport because, like, how many times do you see upsets in this sport? I mean, you see it all the time. I mean, look, they swept the Panthers, who were the number one ranked seed. Yeah. The Lightning were 4, I believe. So it's like it's wild. Yeah, like they're even like there at this point. But if you've been following them, you're not surprised. I mean, at the end of the day, they're a really strong team. They're one of those teams that have really benefited from no state income tax for sure, being able to pay players whatever they want and be like, hey, you can come down to Tampa. Then that $12 million is going to look a lot better here than it would in Canada. So it helps them stay competitive. But yeah, the game last night was really exciting to watch. I caught the end of it. I didn't get to see the beginning, but I did end up watching the playoffs. I mean, the highlights of it later on. It was a thrilling game. Avalanche were up 3-1 at one point, and then Tampa came back with the third goal being a nice deep shot, like a why am I drawing a blank on the
half ice, behind the line, behind the blue line?
A slap shot. Off the post and in. Like that was just a nice snipe by that guy. It was super. It was just a really entertaining match, and then obviously Avalanche ended up taking it in overtime. But yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of that this finals. You're going to see a lot of scoring. It's going to be a lot. It's going to be a very high powered scoring finals. I'm really excited to see it. People probably say these are the best two teams in the league. If you take record and rankings out of it, like these are the two like strongest teams in the league, and people aren't surprised to see these guys here. So yeah, I would like to see. Hopefully, Tampa can come out here and get that third chip. That'd be wild.
It would be. I mean, it's got to be devastating, right? Because when you come out the gate and you score three goals like out the gate that first period, it's like, God damn, we have two more period, like 2 more 15-minute periods. Like, what the fuck? And it's kind of
Against
crazy.
the back-to-back champs. It's
Yeah,
like, fuck.
and it's that's why I said I think last year's Lightning team was way better because Vasilevsky completely dominated. The Florida Panthers going into this playoff series. This guy was on fire. But then he ran into trouble. They played the Rangers to get into the finals, to the Stanley Cup, and we saw there was holes in that armor, right? Because the Rangers were able to score on him, and the fact that you come out game one in the Stanley Cup Finals, giving up 3 in the first period is like, yo, that's tough. That's tough. That's a tough psychologically. That's tough. Like you know what I mean. That's
Well,
tough.
it was 2-0, and then Tampa scored, make it 1-2, and then Avalanche scored again, make it 3-1, and then Tampa did 2 unanswered after that to get it 3-3.
So I mean, obviously, Lightning made it competitive. Man, there's a part of me that doesn't want Tampa to win.
Yeah, right. I feel you.
But also, I want them to win, so at least I can say, oh, well, we lost to the champions again. You know what I mean? Like, they're a 3-time champion. They're the dynasty. They're like the Patriots of the fucking...
Exactly. Like, I would feel so fine with, like, I'm perfectly... Like, there's a part of me, it's like, oh, I want to root for Florida at the end of the day. 2, I think it'd be really sick to see, like, a three-peat. And then 3, I feel less bad about us losing in the back-to-back playoffs to the Lightning, knowing that, like, well, I mean, what are we gonna do? That was a dynasty team. Like, what do you want us to do? Like, but
it's crazy, man.
Yeah,
man, it's exciting.
man.
This is like,
I really, man, it really plays a factor too. Like, I was joking about the state income tax stuff, but I mean, like, we see it in all kinds of sports. Like, it's a huge advantage that you have here, and it's just so funny to see like Canadians get so pissed off that like a Florida team in a place where it doesn't even snow, people don't give a shit about hockey. I mean, honestly, Tampa's became a big hockey town. Last few times I have my girlfriend's family lives up there and we go up there and visit sometimes. And like, yeah, you see the Bolt stuff everywhere. And when a game's on, like every single bar is filled with Lightning fans. And it's kind of weird to see how Tampa has like turned into like, it's like the Green Bay of hockey in the South. Like, it's just like this weird like hockey town that is like just grown such a huge fandom, and obviously because they've been successful over the past like 20 years. I don't know how many championships they've won in total, but yeah, I mean, Tampa's always been good, and in a city where the Rays sucked for a long time and the Bucks sucked for a long time, I think it just you end up getting it. They're like, oh, you know what? We're just gonna root for the fucking team that's winning, and like, so.
So,
Yeah,
quick
man.
note, fun fact: last time a Canadian team, because there's a bunch of Canadian teams. You have Toronto, you have Edmonton, Calgary, whatever. Last time a Canadian team won was in 1993. The Montreal Canadiens. They beat the LA Kings. I believe. Look, Barry Melrose was the coach for the LA Kings. That's the
Damn,
last time.
man, that they made it.
No, they won the last Canadian
Oh.
championship.
Damn, man, that is crazy. Especially since there's been more Canadian teams, obviously, since then, because there wasn't as many before that. I mean, they started slowly adding them, and man, that is depressing.
That's why they're big mad. Big mad. Last time they came out, Jurassic Park. It was Jurassic Park. It wasn't Jurassic World.
It's the number one. Is the first one. I'm telling you, man, it's hard. Like when, especially in those, it's hard to get players to go to Canada, man. I firmly believe that. Like I think there's more like attractive situations when it comes to from a financial and just also a living standpoint. Like, do you want to live in Edmonton? Like, no offense to Edmonton, but like you can live in Edmonton or you can play for the Rangers. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of a tough sell unless you're in like for the Maple Leafs or the Canadians or the Canucks. But like Edmonton and Ottawa and Calgary, those are tough sells to players. I feel like.
Yeah. So, but hockey's international anyways. Like, there's a bunch of Russian guys, Swedish guys. There's guys from all over the world. So, It's a mixed bag, anyways. I mean, you get your Canadian stars still, just you can't bring it home to Canada, even though.
So, what's your prediction next game?
Game 2
Tomorrow.
Man,
No,
you know
Saturday.
what? I think the Lightning play tough. After a loss, they play tough. I think the Lightning pull it out. Game 2.
Yep, I agree. I think it's gonna be tied 1-1.
I'm not gonna do the prediction on the series. Okay, like I said,
yeah,
I want Lightning to lose and win at the same time. I am a I live. I'm but a man. I can't even process the series, but I think Lightning,
I don't know.
they play tough.
I'm rooting for the Lightning because I don't like the way the Avalanche has been treated as like this golden child, and all they talk about is the Avalanche this, Avalanche that, Avalanche this, and they never talk about the fucking Panthers. You never once hear the Panthers being mentioned. Obviously, like you got to make when it matters in the playoffs, but still, regardless, they were an amazing team that was never talked about. But they just want to talk about the Avalanche constantly. So because of that, and because of the reasons I listed below, I do think this is going to 7. I do think it's going to 7, though.
Oh man,
for sure.
Wow, you had
I just have a feeling it's going to alternate. It's going to go back and forth, just alternating wins. But yeah.
All right, let's transition over. Let's talk a little bit of soccer talk, because that's what we do on this podcast. Our resident soccer expert, Julian. Apple TV signed a huge contract. Let the people know what's going on with the Apple TV.
Yeah, so this has been a looming deal for the MLS. So people have been talking about this upcoming deal for the MLS past 2 years, I would say. MLS structured everything with local television rights, national television rights for everything to end 2023. That was when their main contract was going to end with Fox, ESPN, Univision. It was going to end in 2023. And then they told all teams that don't extend your local TV rights past 2023. So everything was leading up for this. MLS was gearing up. They were putting together tournaments with Liga MX. They were putting together like the MLS Next Pro, which is essentially the developmental league. They're setting up all these things, and I think that and they had this in the back of their mind, planning it as they're putting together these tournaments and these competitions and all these different things to line up to put together a really attractive deal for a network. And there was a lot of worries that they weren't going to get. They were going in there hoping to get around $350 million a year. As time got closer, they're finding that they're having a hard time to getting it, which has been tough because I think they were looking for a certain thing, and I agreed that they should have. So they ended up finding Apple TV. Apple TV is, as we know, a new service. It looks like they're trying to get into the sports game. Back in March, they announced that they brought MLB with Friday Night Baseball over to Apple TV, and I think this is the next step. MLS, like I said, they were looking for the right partner. Here's quick reaction of how I feel about the thing. I think everything about this deal is great except for two things. One thing, but it results in a two thing. One thing really is the paywall. That is tough. So I can pull it up here. I have the article here. Here we go. So Apple and Major League Soccer, it's 10 years, $2.5 billion, and at least $250 million a year, which is a lot, at least. And because what MLS and Apple are going to be doing is all games will be streamed exclusively on Apple TV. Every single game, including the upcoming new tournament, March Madness between Liga MX and MLS. Leagues Cup will be included in there. All MLS games, MLS Next Pro and MLS Next, which is the developmental league. And they're going to run it till 2032. And they're going to be including a whip around, a weekly live whip around show, which is essentially like NFL Red Zone, but for MLS. They're going to be kind of have like a pretty much just like a channel of like, programming and other stuff, pregame, postgame, all that stuff. So that to me is great. because that was something that was severely lacking. Because I don't know what it is about like ESPN, but ESPN refuses to talk about soccer at all. Like, when was the last time you saw anything soccer on like Sports Center Top 10 or
I
anything?
mean, it's got to
They
be
ref-
women. Like, it's got to be like when it's World Cup or something. I mean, like women's soccer, or when the
yeah,
men,
unless it's
and unless it's like World Cup stuff, like there's not really.
and
You don't see really a lot of highlights of.
and you know what bothers me the most about it? Because they signed, and I think it bothered MLS, of course, because they signed like a deal with ESPN and all this stuff, had all their games on ESPN Plus, but they would provide no coverage. They would have no pregame, they would have no postgame. They would run these like pointless women's college basketball matches that like didn't mean anything. It wasn't even March Madness. They'll run these games over the MLS Cup. The MLS Cup, they were running this game over that. And so there was no this past year, and like I saw on Twitter, everybody's like pissed because they're like trying to watch it, but they're playing this pointless game that nobody cares about. It wasn't even March Madness, and it was infuriating. I remember watching it like, what the fuck are they going to change? Like they give no special treatment, but yet the top 10, you see these amazing plays being made on ESPN, and other like La Liga and all these stuff are signed with ESPN Plus, all these things, but then they'll put like some pointless pop fly in the top 10. And it's like it always bothered me. Fox did a little bit better. Fox would actually have pre games and halftime shows and so on and so forth. So Fox put a little bit more effort into it. But this league was it was going to be tough to get this deal because so many other networks had their thing going. So like Fox had the World Cup and initially NBC has the whole Premier League. ESPN has
The UFC.
they just the ESPN just paid for La Liga, Bundesliga, a couple other leagues. Paramount Plus just got for the Champions League. Why am I drawing a blank? But essentially, all these other networks had their soccer feel. So
Yeah.
they all kind of had their budget for soccer. NBC being the biggest one, they paid a shit ton of money for the Premier League. So it kind of left MLS in this weird predicament of not knowing where to go when it came to these traditional media companies. So a lot of people were thinking, there was a lot of rumors talking about Time Warner, which is TNT. That could have been interesting. TNT obviously does a really great job with the NBA. Obviously, the NBA Tonight Show and the halftimes are great with Chuck Charles, Shaq, and Larry. Um, they do a great job, so I was open to that. But a lot of people thought, maybe Amazon Prime. People thought Apple was a dark horse, but ended up coming out to be that way. And so everything about it's great. My one gripe with it is the fucking paywall, man. It's not just you have to get another subscription service that nobody really has that much of with Apple TV. It's not just that. You have to then get the MLS package on top of that just to watch games. So there's going to be no local broadcasting on like your local television. It's all going to be on Apple TV, all of it. Doesn't matter if you're in the local market or whatever. The one benefit to that though is there's no blackouts, which is awesome. MLS this year and prior have been on ESPN Plus, and if you're in the local market, you can't rewatch the game. So you can't watch the game later on ESPN Plus. You can't watch it anywhere on ESPN if you're not. And anybody who watches ESPN Plus and tries to watch their home team, they'll know what I'm talking about. It blacks it out because it makes you watch it on the your local channel. But with Apple TV, there's going to be no blackouts, so that's great. But man, that paywall fucking sucks. Like, and that's hard. I don't know, and I also find it really hard for them to grab onto new fans if you're setting up this paywall. And they talk about in this article that they're going to add a couple free games for Apple TV Plus subscribers. So, like, if you have Apple TV already and you don't have the MLS package, they're going to do some free games. And they're also talking about simulcasting some games to bigger networks. So they're going to be there's still going to be some national televised games, probably on ESPN or on Fox or whatever else. It's just going to be simulcasted from Apple TV. And the final thing that worries me is that Apple TV has been getting a lot of flack for the Friday Night Baseball stuff. I don't know if you heard about it, but I've been hearing people say the camera angles and the quality of it looks great, but the commentators are terrible. So hopefully they can improve upon that by the time the 2023 season comes around. But I am pumped to see higher quality technology when it comes to watching the game, like seeing better camera angles and higher definition things, seeing them
Yeah,
take place.
I would be interested to see like what you were saying earlier, like what does that mean for like broadcasting locally, right? For like regional games or home games. Obviously, I'm here in Austin now, or if I was in Miami for the Fort Lauderdale FC. Like, what does that mean for like locally? Do they still get to keep their guys? Because yeah, Apple owns all the rights, right? They're going to be the main streaming thing, but what does that mean for the broadcast? I assume that it's going to be the same. Um, uh, but it's kind of weird because like, what are the premier games, right? Because the premier games always get to the top of whatever ESPN, whatever. But you're seeing they're playing all of them all the time during the regular seasons. Like, how do we highlight like good matchups or LA Galaxy or
Yeah.
New York?
Yeah, so like I said, they're working out deals. They don't know what networks yet, but they're working out deals to simulcast. So if there is a game on ESPN, it is also going to be on Apple TV. So no matter what, every single game will be on Apple TV. They're just working out deals to get it simulcasted on traditional TV. And I think the type of consumer you miss out the most is the person who's just scrolling through TV and just happens to come across it and watch it.
Yeah.
And like if they're already pre-existing soccer fans, because now setting up that paywall, it's like now you have to be an MLS fan to buy that. And there's going to only be so many limited ways to do that versus like, for example, like, my grandfather, he's old school. He doesn't really know technology. He doesn't even know probably Apple TV exists. He probably has no idea what Netflix is, but he watches soccer all the time. And that's the case for a lot of Hispanics like out there who come from countries who watch soccer.
Yeah, they
A
watch
lot
out
of
the
their
antenna,
yeah.
the satellite.
Yeah. And right now, currently, the most watched league in this country is Liga MX. This is the Mexican league. It's the most watched league in this country. And a lot of those old school Mexican soccer fans, they're not going to know much about Apple TV or all this stuff. And they might not even really watch MLS unless it was on one of their basic channels that they already watch where Liga MX also airs.
Or if it's like a friendly or something.
Like a Univision or like I think they're hoping to get some of those Mexican fans with the Leagues Cup. And that was the whole idea of this Leagues Cup thing, which is essentially, like I said, a March Madness between the two leagues. And the winner of it gets into the access to the Champions League. So I think they're hoping to drive subscribers that way. But yeah, I think I don't want to be too worried about it because it depends how many games they're going to simulcast. Like if they're going to simulcast maybe one big game every week, you know what? I'm not upset at that. If they do like one main game on ESPN and ESPN Deportes or like Univision and like other things, like if they do like once a week at like the big game of the week and it's like that, I wouldn't be entirely too upset at that. But I do think it does kind of hurt for like the local markets, like like some old Colombian man who who lives in Miami and he comes across the Inter Miami game now, he's a fan versus like and. You're not going to get him like that through Apple TV.
Yeah.
Granted, MLS has the youngest consumer base out of all the sports in America. I think the average age is 40 or 39 or something like that, the youngest out of any other league. So they're banking on the fact that because most of their demographic is millennials or Gen Z. But I mean, only time will tell. Obviously, I think this, and I heard somebody bring it because DirecTV and Sunday Ticket are up at the end of this year. And obviously they're going to be looking to leave DirecTV. There's no way they're staying on DirecTV, the NFL. So this could be, and what a lot of MLS fans are hoping for, or just like fans in general are hoping for, that maybe Apple TV comes in the running for that Sunday Ticket, because then you're going to get a lot more consumers onto the platform, a lot more chances to kind of expose yourself, because if Apple TV gets Sunday Ticket, that could help a lot. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. The cool thing that I hope for the most is this. Hopefully, this means the salary cap gets raised, because the current TV deal they're on now is paying $90 million a year. across the league. 90 million. That's nothing. And now they're getting at least 250. That's 250, and then they get a revenue share of all the subscriptions that they get. So it could go up even higher from 250 and like down the line. So that's a huge jump up from what they are currently getting, which is 90 million a year. So hopefully this means a raise in salary caps, which can mean obviously a raise in higher quality talent internationally, being able to sign bigger name players, so on and so forth. But obviously Apple's banking on the future. They're banking on American fandom of soccer after this upcoming World Cup. 2022, the ratings for MLS always go up after World Cup year. So they're banking on that. And the upcoming World Cup that's going to be hosted here in the United States, Mexico, and Canada in 2026. So Apple's banking on MLS and MLS is banking on Apple. They're hoping that things can work out. But I think this is great for the MLS just from a money standpoint to get this cash flow coming in and remain sustainable for the next 10 years for sure.
All right, well, let's talk about the World Cup because obviously it's coming up. I just looked up the countdown. I got 157 days. 157 days to the World Cup.
You know, sadly, the World Cup would be going on right now if it wasn't in Qatar.
Yeah. So that's something to look forward to. Obviously, soccer does all this streaming and stuff. What do you got on the World Cup? What's your preview so far? Do you think this will be the biggest World Cup ever, or will it just be like whatever? What are you looking forward to the World Cup?
I'm hoping that the World Cup's good. So far, I mean, this is looking out to be like the shittiest World Cup ever. I mean, between all the scandals and the cover-ups from the location and the building of the stadiums, and then every like 10 stadiums being built in like a 10-mile radius, and then the World Cup time having to move to the winter instead of traditionally being in the summer. I hope everything turns out okay. Like I said, I really hate to see it put in the middle of the season internationally to have it in like November and December. But man, like I said, I hope it's good. Yes, Tuesday, my countrymen of Costa Rica qualified for the final spot into the World Cup. They beat New Zealand in the World Cup qualifying playoffs, and now they are in. They placed fourth in the CONCACAF World Cup qualifying, so they had to go and play in a playoff since they didn't get top three. And I felt good about this game coming in. I thought they could beat New Zealand, and they did. They scored in the first 2 minutes, and then they pretty much parked the bus for the next 88, which was the most nerve-wracking shit. I hate this coach, bro. This coach is so annoying. He's done this the whole World Cup qualifying. Instead of just like, just like closing out the game, trying to score another one, take the lead, grab the game by its balls and just keep on going. He just, for whatever reason, he loves once we score to fucking park the bus and just gives the other team the ball and says, "Hey, try to score on us." I don't know why. I understand the ideology of doing that because he wants to prepare us for the actual World Cup when it comes, because some people are saying that group is going to be the group of death because it's Germany, Spain, Japan, and now Costa Rica. So I don't know if it's kind of a tactical standpoint to prepare the Costa Rican team to not have the ball for very long, because when you play the likes of Spain and Germany, like, you're not going to touch the ball.
Yeah.
Like, those are just powerhouses. So I don't know if that's like kind of his idea in the prep. It's like, hey, look, if we're going to make it any sort of like,
put that pressure.
We're going to win any sort of game in World Cup, we're going to have to just score and just sit back, because these teams are they're more class than us. They have way more training, way more fun. Like, they're just higher quality players. So we're going to have to be tight defensively, tight as possible, and then be ready to hit the fast break and the transition and just score on it and then just hold it. So, but yeah, I am super pumped. It was the most nerve-wracking game. San Jose, I was seeing photos from all over San Jose on Instagram and Twitter, and like the streets are wild. It's packed. Like, this is their third consecutive World Cup. And this is going to be and I'm also was just enjoying it too, because I will say this is going to be the first World Cup where it actually means something to get into. Because in 2026, the World Cup is going to be expanded to 48 teams instead of 24, which it currently is. And to get in the World Cup now, like it's tough. Like it's really tough. I mean, like ask Italy. Italy didn't even make the World Cup these past 2 years, and they're one of the. They just won the Euro Championship. Mind-boggling how that happened. How they win the Euros, but they can't even get into the qualify for the World Cup. But it's going to be the last World Cup where it actually means something to get in. Versus when it gets expanded, like at this point, where Costa Rica is in CONCACAF, like they're going to make it no matter what. It's going to open up the door for more countries that weren't as good, like the El Salvadors, the Honduras, the Haitis, the Jamaicas, so on and so forth around the world. But yeah, I just wanted to enjoy this game. I was like, you know what? Now I feel like I deserve to be there, and yeah, I'm super pumped that they're now. Hopefully, they can squeeze out and get a couple of upsets. But Gabe, you pumped for the World Cup?
I mean, it's fine. It's fine. Like I'm not super. I'll watch it definitely. Because obviously we're gonna do it for the show. We need content here. But World Cup, it'll be it's off to the side a little bit. Especially it's gonna go on later in the year. You have a few more months till it's actually
Yeah.
starts. So, it'll be fine. Once it'll be something we talk about down the line, but it's whatever. I feel like the U.S. is definitely the men's team. Not really the greatest historically. They're going to go against England.
But this is the greatest generation ever. This is supposedly the golden generation. We have more players in Europe than ever before. The whole starting lineups here playing European clubs and top Power 5 clubs. I mean, Power 5 leagues. This is supposed to be the greatest team ever made, but the problem is they're extremely young. They all range from 18 to 22. So we're looking at 2026.
Do it in the playoffs. I mean, the men's team is so disappointing. They've historically been terrible. So it's
We'll
fine.
see. They just played in Austin. I don't know if you saw. I mean, they just played in Austin like a couple of days ago for a warm up game. But the one thing I do like, and I heard Colin Cowherd mention, he's like, the one thing that is so great about the U.S. and its involvement in the World Cup is I feel like it is and he said it perfectly, it's the only thing, and this is going to sound like American elitism or whatever, but like it's the only thing where we can actually feel like we're the underdogs.
Okay.
That's the only thing.
Because we pretty much dominate other sport. With basketball, we're supposed to be good in basketball. I mean, we saw
baseball, the Olympics. I mean, we pretty much are always top 3 in the amount of gold medals. Like, if not, like we are number one. It is the one thing that, like, this is the shit the rest of the world's good at, but you can actually feel like underdogs. Like, you know what I mean? And you feel that come up. Like, all right, we're on the come up. Like I said, this is the golden generation. The only problem is they're just too young right now, but they're going to get much needed experience for when the big one happens in home ground, 2026. That's going to be the run that they can hopefully make it farther and at least make it to the semifinals. But we'll see. That's 4 years down the line. But yeah, I think it's the timing of the World Cup sucks this time too, only from an American perspective. Is that it's going to be going on the same time as like football and all our other sports and whatnot. But the time change, everything's going to be in the morning anyways. So, which is going to be annoying. I hate it when they do shit like cross country. It's like, fuck, now I got to get up early. It's running in the middle of the night.
I think there was recently a F1 race that was like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Baku. Yeah, I watched it. Well, this one actually wasn't that bad. I watched that that was like at 10 a.m. That wasn't that bad because I usually wake up kind of early, so those aren't
Saturday
or like the Tokyo Olympics. Like that, I didn't even watch those because it's like that was literally going on in the middle of the night. Yeah, I didn't care enough to get up in the middle of the night to watch.
They'll replay it. NBC will replay it anyway. So yeah, that's it for soccer. Let's finish up because with the NFL news, because the NFL is always making news, even though we haven't seen a game in months. Let's talk about the Panthers. They try to finalize a trade for Baker Mayfield. How do you feel, Julian, about Baker Mayfield trying to finalize a trade to the Carolina Panthers. Does this make sense to you?
I mean, it makes sense to me. What are the Panthers going to do? They're going to throw out Sam Darnold, the man who sees the ghost hunter. They're going to throw him out there again. Like what? Like for real? Like what are you going to do? You going to re-sign Cam? Like what? Like I don't. I think Matt Rule's done. I think this is his last straw. Like if he doesn't win here, Matt Rule has had the longest leash, one of the longest leashes in the league. Like he's been scapegoating all those coaches. This is a Hail Mary. Baker's better than what they have. Is it going to take them over? They're not going to win the division with Baker. You're not going to get over Tampa. You might get second place. You can maybe squeeze for a wild card. Like Panthers are one of those teams where I feel like they don't know what they want to do next. They don't know if they want to rebuild or if they want to go try to bolster their roster and go for a playoff run. They're like one of those teams that's like in that weird middle where they got some good players and some veterans who can play, but there's also have a lot of players that are just kind of mediocre. And I feel like that's a worse situation to be in than just being a team that's just rebuilding. Like at that point, I'm like, what are we doing here, man? Well, we're going to win 6 games. Yeah. We're a team that's built. What are we going to do here? Sell the fucking house. It's like Seahawks. Seahawks are going to be in that same ballpark. It's like you're like trying to like Drew Lock and then you have DK Metcalf and the defense. Like, just sell the fucking house, man. Just tear that shit down, restart, get a better foundation. I feel like Panthers and Matt Rule. Obviously, Matt Rule's going to he's been in the league for a few years now, so he hasn't been successful. So he's going to do whatever it takes to at least make the playoffs this upcoming year. But I think he knows, and maybe all Panthers fans. I haven't talked to any Panthers fans what they think. If you're a Panthers fan, let me know. I just think they just need to reset, man. Just tear that shit down. Obviously, they're not going to because Matt Rule still needs a job. But yeah. What do you think?
I mean, it's fine. Like, I think it's kind of weird on the Browns how, when all this shit went down, they were trading for Watson, whatever. Baker Mayfield went on Instagram or whatever and gave us goodbyes, and then the Browns are like, hold on, but don't say goodbye yet. We're not going to trade.
Yeah, the Browns are doing them dirty, I will say.
Yeah. Like, why? What is all this pomp and circumstance? I don't know. It's weird. We knew that if you're trading for Watson, you're giving the whole house and the kitchen sink for Watson. They pretty much you're giving up on Baker Mayfield. So why act like no, we do like you, we want you here? Like,
no, they want their cake and eat it too. Like because they're still unsure about the Watson thing. I mean, obviously we're not going to talk about it, but they had like another 2 now there's 26 allegations on this motherfucker. So like they still don't know what's going to happen with him. So they want to hold on to Baker, but that they don't. If it wasn't for the legal situation, maybe they get rid of him. But it's like you said, they want their cake and eat it.
I think the Browns did Baker Mayfield pretty dirty. He's done nothing but play through injuries, play hard for them. Tried not to give too many excuses. So if this is finalized, he gets through, then then good for. I feel pretty good for Baker Mayfield. Like I said, I think he's still starting this league. He's probably the bottom 2 starter in the league. But I still think he can start. And if you're gonna go Carolina, like who cares? It's like last chance you or some shit. It's like
last chance you NFL.
Nobody's expecting the Panthers to fucking win a Super Bowl this year. So whatever, just go there, play, get your money, get paid. Yeah, it's fine. Like I feel good for Baker Mayfield. Was there any details that they were trying to like? Did they say any final details of like what they're giving up? Was it a lot?
Well, they just said that it's just leaks. It's not even like for certain if that's going to happen. Like there was leaks saying that they're urgently trying to get a deal done. But I think there's 2 factors playing into that. Like I wouldn't be surprised if the Panthers really want him. But I think the thing that's really holding it up is the Browns don't know what to do. Because you go all in on Watson, like
bro, you're
playing a risky game.
You sold your soul, and you are all in. When you gave him the highest paid contract, the guy hasn't played in a year and a half, and you gave him the highest paid contract. You are all in. So go ahead. Just you made the bed, lay in it, sleep in it, enjoy the smells, enjoy the pillows. You got Watson. Okay, you did that.
Yeah, but
So
that's what I'm saying. That like they want Baker as reinsurance, but I don't blame Baker for Baker just be like, yo, like fucking trade me.
get
Like,
the
what do you
out of here. Yeah,
like get me out of here? Like you really like you're really gonna do that shit? You like completely just like threw me to the trash. Rightfully so, maybe some would say. But I mean, do you think from a Panthers perspective this is good for the Panthers? Or do you think like what I said, like just tear that shit down? Like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah. I mean the Panthers. I mean, there's not really a lot of high prospects. I mean, their best offensive player is Robbie Anderson. That's it. I don't like I said. I don't think
the
they're going to
ghost
win
of Christian
six games.
McCaffrey, you mean?
If they win 6 games, that'll be a success. Like there's not really much going on. I'm not high on Carolina uh, trying to compete. Like so, whatever. Throw spaghetti against the wall. See if it sticks. I don't know. See if you can make moves. Whatever. I would be happier to see Baker Mayfield get out of there because obviously he's upset.
Yeah. I just feel like from a Panthers perspective, are they in any position to give away picks for a mediocre quarterback? I just feel like they're not a team that's in position to do that. And like I said, it's only because Matt Rule is going for a Hail Mary to keep his job. He obviously doesn't have a quarterback. The team's not super deep or that strong. Without Christian McCaffrey, they're nothing. And who knows if he's ever going to be healthy again. I heard reports that they were trying to trade him. And it's just like, man, if I was the GM, I would have just got rid of Matt Rule. I just like nothing was working there. Like, I don't understand why keep him. I get that it was only 2 seasons, but like there was no sense of progress for the Panthers. Like I felt like watching the Panthers, there's no progress being made. It still doesn't look like there's really progress being made. And do you really want to be in a position where you're going to give away 3 picks, 3 middle round picks for a team that's already lacking depth and talent? Like, I just don't think that's for a mediocre quarterback. I just don't think that's smart business. I think they're just in a situation where they just need to tear it down because you're not a playoff team. You're just a middling team that's going to pick 10th in the draft every year. Do you want to be that? I've been a part of those teams. I followed a team that's been picking 5th and 6th to 5th to 12th like every single year. There's nothing that gets done. Just tear the shit down. Just get what you can. Just tear it all down. Draft, and I don't know.
Hope that you get.
Look, as long as you throw Sam Darnold out there, you're getting the number 1 overall pick. So just tear it down. Throw Sammy D out there. You're going to get that number 1 overall pick.
Wow.
Look, right. Sam Darnold gave the Jets. Sam Darnold almost gave the Jets the number 1 overall pick. Don't not forget. But then he had to go out there and fucking win. And now they're stuck with Zach Wilson. Let him make it right. Let him make it right.
Correct his wrongs, his past wrongs. All right, let's talk about other news. We can't get on here without talking about Dolphins. I mean, the Dolphins.
Yeah, I feel every week.
Every week is a Dolphins thing. We get new details. Everything is all about the Dolphins.
And it's always
news for winning. It's always about some other shit. It's like
and it's the most ridiculous shit every time.
Some guy snorting coke off a table, another guy bullying another guy. It's never for winning. It's never for playoff appearances.
Selling shares of the team for a player.
Yeah. So Sean Payton, obviously, I think he walked away, right? He's like, oh, I'm not going to coach.
Yeah, he retired.
Well, he didn't retire. He just said he was going to walk away. He wasn't going to. Wasn't going to fulfill his contract. He wasn't going to return to the Saints. He took a year off, right? He took a year off.
I thought he retired.
No. I think he just stepped away. He's like, oh, I'm not going to head coach. Anyway, so Sean Payton leaves the Saints for a year. Comes out, he's going to get we hear this whole story about Tom Brady going to leave the Bucs, go to the thing. Sean Payton's going to come in for Brian Flores. His lawsuit somehow Bill Belichick gets in there. I don't know how. All this shit. Anyway, Sean Payton was going to get paid.
Stephen Ross offered Bill Belichick $200 million.
Anyways, Sean Payton was going to get paid $100 million for 5 years. I think it was the equivalent of the Gruden contract, right? That Gruden got signed for the Raiders, but with less time. So essentially the same. I think Gruden signed for.
Gruden had like a 10-year contract. They gave Gruden the fucking house.
Something crazy. So, but Sean Payton was going to get the equivalent. Is this revolutionary to you? Like, how do you feel about like hearing about this? Like, because to me, it's like it is newsworthy, but it's like he's not here. Like, obviously, once the Dolphins got sued, we knew this was going to happen. This whole plan blew up. It's not, it's okay to hear about the details about it, but I'm like, whatever. Like,
see, for me, I find it pretty.
So what am I going to like? What is he going to do for our team? This is nothing.
I find it really interesting seeing like and thinking about what could have been. Like, I think that's what's really, and what was in the works and what easily could have been. Like, and it's something from like, you just would have never expected to happen for this team. Like, I would have never thought a year ago that they were working to that Tom Brady was going to retire and then come out of retirement to play for the Dolphins as a way to get out of his Tampa contract. And then for Sean Payton to step away and then sign with the Dolphins. And like, could you imagine right now having Sean Payton, Tom Brady, and Tyreek Hill on the Dolphins right now?
Like crazy as fuck.
And it's just like, it's wild to think like what could have been. And like, I think it's just hilarious. It's like, it's always something new. And you just see all these Dolphins fans getting pissed because it's like, they look at it as like they dropped the ball and like the organization dropped the ball and like they could have had something great. Whether or not maybe that's the right thing to do or what they're doing now is now the right thing to do. Regardless of the whole Brian Flores situation, I do think it was best for the Dolphins to get rid of him. I get that he was not a bad coach. I don't think you can't be a Flores fan and a Tua fan. I just don't buy that. Like, you can't be both.
Well, we know Brian
Flores was doing Tua no help. He was giving him literally no help.
Well, Brian Flores is not a defense. He's not an offensive guy. He's a defensive coach.
Okay, neither is Bill Belichick. Well, that's a bad example because Bill Belichick never got to Brady help. But regardless of the fact, Brian Flores clearly didn't like Tua. He didn't want him playing. It was evident.
This is the truth. This is what we can say with objective truth, like 90% true. He did not like Tua. He was upset.
That's why I'm saying you can't be a Flores fan and a Tua fan. I think Flores is a great coach. I think Flores is a great coach, and he can win you games. He is a winning coach. I just don't think to me, Flores is the type of coach where you go in there with a team that already has a quarterback and an established offensive coordinator. I don't, and we saw it in Miami. He wasn't the type of coach that knew how to build an offense. And at the end of the day, I get that you're defensive minded, but you're still a head coach at the end of the day. And you have to hire the right people that know what they're doing. Hiring that dinosaur that was Chan Gailey running your offense and the new age of football was, I could have told you that wasn't going to work. Like, and I think that was, and I think if you wanted Tua to succeed, you needed a guy like Mike McDaniel that you have now. I think he is the perfect coach for Tua. And that's why I think at the end of the day, it's better with Flores gone, because I think for Tua to succeed, and you want Tua to succeed, you needed somebody who's going to help him.
I don't know. I disagree. I think you can be a Flores fan and a Tua fan. Flores definitely didn't deserve to be fired. I think he had a winning record. Maybe he didn't go deep in the playoffs with what you expected. But
or make the playoffs.
But that's like a false, you set the standards high compared to all the previous Dolphin teams, all the previous Dolphin coaches that you had set up. Like, you set the standard too high for Flores. But I don't think, now we're hearing details of, Flores was supposed to go on a boat, and then Tom Brady was on the boat, and they were supposed to talk, and then Flores is like, nah, fuck that. I don't, like, you hear all these details. So, Flores wasn't down with whatever plan.
I'm not sure what Flores wanted. I don't like that was the thing that confused me.
He wanted Watson.
That
That's apparently what he wanted. See,
but what? Like, I mean, like, you see what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, I just don't feel like look, he is an amazing defensive mind, and he will win you games. But like, obviously, I don't know how much of this is true, but just the stuff that I'm hearing, the offensive decisions that were made were just terrible. I don't get it. And that's just my point of it. It's like you're doing no sort of help for Tua. You gave him no sort of reinsurance. This whole season, you're talking about Watson. You're clearly pushing for Watson. I mean, it was kind of evident he was pushing for Watson. And then you're like you said, being put on a boat with Tom Brady to come. And you're like, no, what do you want? Like, you've worked with Brady. You know what he's like. And if anything, that's the quarterback you kind of want. Like what I mentioned, you want somebody who's an established quarterback who knows what they're doing and doesn't need to be developed. And I don't know. Like, it was just like when it comes to the offense, I just felt like as a head coach, you need to be able to do both. And there was such a lack of offensive knowledge. And I get that Dolphins fans were excited because he was winning games for you guys, but he was winning games for you guys because of the defensive standpoint. And that will only take you so far.
That's his specialty.
Ask Saxonville. Ask Saxonville that. It would only take you so far.
So we'll see. We want to talk about Tyreek Hill going on a podcast.
Yeah, we'll stay on the Dolphins.
Since we're talking about Tua, let's talk about Tyreek Hill.
Bro, Tyreek Hill, he has been the ultimate Tua hype man.
Listen, this is a guy you want him in the trenches with you, okay?
You know what? And I respect it.
Wingman.
I really respect Tyreek Hill. He is going above and beyond to like help out his boy Tua. I don't know if they had like a deep talk or something. Tua got in his feelings, and he was like, "Yo, man, I just need some help, man. Like, I just need some help." Like, I don't know if that happened. And then Tyreek's like, he's just gonna be a boy, and he's just gonna do it for him. But like, man, shout out to Tyreek Hill for going above and beyond to help it. This man said that Tua has the prettiest balls he's ever seen.
Wow.
Says he has the prettiest balls he's ever seen. Wow. No homo. And he is more accurate than Patrick Mahomes.
Oof. Bro,
is there truth to that statement? Is there truth?
Bro. Super Bowl. For the next 10 years, dynasty.
the Tua analyst. The Tua analyst. Do you listen? The Tua expert. Is he more accurate than Patrick Mahomes?
I am part of hashtag.
Yes or no?
Tua non.
Yes or no?
Go one, we go all. Listen, man, it's hard. It's tough. I haven't seen a pregame. I haven't seen this guy throw. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. We can practice. Okay, that looks great. What are you going to do against the Bills? That's my question. What are you going to do against the Bills?
In the past 2 seasons, has Tua thrown a more accurate ball than Patrick Mahomes?
I mean, obviously it's ridiculous, but listen. It's ridiculous to say this, but, he's got to stick up for his guy, right? He got traded for his team, so obviously you want to go into
I like how you won't say yes or no.
It's a ridiculous statement. So whatever, man. It's fine. Like, it's just all talk. There's no games being played. There's no stats. I had no stats of Tyreek Hill off this podcast. Like, what am I gonna say? I think this is a make or break season for Tua going into the season, right? Because we've seen him half a season. He's injured. He gets started. He don't start. You have the Fitzpatrick. Yeah. So like this season, if everything goes well, he doesn't have any injuries, and we get a full season of Tua. I think this is a make or break season for Tua because
you got rid of the guy who didn't want you.
Yeah,
who didn't want him.
So you get help. You get Tyreek Hill. They secure Gesicki. Was a franchise
coach.
Yeah, got a brand new coach. Everything is looking up for Tua. There should be no excuses for Tua going forward. So I think this is a.
I remember that. We're gonna clip this.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna hear Gabe say,
"It's make or break."
Excuses. No more excuses.
No more excuses. Like. You're getting all the help and support you need. Although the Stephen Ross doesn't like you. He wanted Tom Brady. He didn't want you. He was going to go get Watson for Brian Flores. He gave you help. So
I think the only one that liked Tua was Chris Greer.
We're all in on Tua. So you gotta perform. You gotta be special. You can't just be average. Going into the season, it's going to be tough this year. Like I said, the Bills are the biggest hump to go over in the division. You got to be good. As far as what's his name,
What about
Mike.
the Patriots? Did you
Mike
guys go
McDaniel.
1-1 against the Patriots?
We always split with the Patriots. We always win the last game in December. Some weird Hail Mary or some shit. But yeah, make a break for Tua. I think maybe Mike McDaniel, this being his first year, maybe he covers for Tua, being his first year as a coach. You might get
New
one or two out of
offense.
Tua, but this is make or break. It's like, come on, dude. I was like,
I think it depends how bad or how good he plays. I think if he just goes out there and bombs and he looks just bad, then yeah, he's done. I think if he looks average, then they're like, okay, maybe let's give him his 4th year on his contract. At the end of the year, he's going to play. At the end of the day, he's going to play out his rookie contract. Whether he starts or not is one thing, but this is also really big for him too, because we also got to look at this as a contract year, because coming after this upcoming year with his 3rd season, after that year, they're going to be his 5th year options going to be on the line. And if he wants that 5th year option where he's going to get more money and more security long term, he needs to perform this year. It's like your 3rd year is huge. Like your 2nd year is supposed to be your big jump, but then your 3rd year, by the time a quarterback hits his 3rd year, you should be you should be going on playoff runs. Playoffs shouldn't even be a question. It shouldn't even be a question. And you should be pushing for Super Bowls by your 3rd year, at least. I think it depends. If he has an average year, he's going to keep on going. But he's also playing for his contract and his life. I think he knows too the pressure. But yeah, shout out to Tyreek Hill for having his back at least. And going above and beyond.
Okay. This is all hype season. We got to hype people up. In the off season. Like I said, I'll wait till I see a game played, and then I'll tell you my opinions on it. Let's end with Golden Tate. Golden Tate leaving the NFL. I think last team he was with the Giants, or what was the last team he was with?
Seahawks, I believe.
No. He left. He left there. I think he was with the Giants. Anyways, Golden Tate living out his dream. I believe he joined a summer league. It was like the Portland. I don't know. I'm making up a team. It was called like the Lefties or something. It's like the Portland State Lefties, some kind of collegiate.
You're right. It was the Giants.
He joins a summer baseball league, saying he wants to outlive his dream as a baseball player. Julian, do you think he's making a career mistake, leaving football?
I think from a financial standpoint, it's a terrible mistake.
Wow.
But if he feels comfortable with where he's at, and you know what, it's like, fuck it, I want to try to play some baseball before I get too old to where I can't, then yeah, I mean, let's be real, Golden Tate has been kind of on the downtick of his career for the past few years. It looks like his last season was 2020. I guess he didn't play last year. The Giants, like you said, the Giants cut him. Played for the Seahawks, Lions, and Giants. So he didn't play a whole lot last year. So, somebody you would imagine somebody would have picked him up. So he clearly didn't look good. I'm not a Golden Tate connoisseur. I don't know everything about the man, but I'm assuming he didn't play that well that final season. And he's just looking at realistically, maybe he had no offers going out there. And it's like, well, I mean, if you don't have any offers going out there and you feel pretty good financially, why not go out there and try to play baseball? I did find out that he was actually drafted twice out of high school. He was drafted out of I take that back. He was drafted twice. Once out of high school. He was drafted. I don't understand baseball draft at all. He was drafted in the 42nd round of the 2007 draft. The 42nd round? How many goddamn rounds is there?
50.
And then he was drafted by the San Francisco Giants out of college in the 50th round because he also played baseball while he was at Notre Dame. alongside football. So he's drafted in the 42nd and the 50th round. So he's not new to baseball. He's not trying to pull a Tim Tebow out here. Never played baseball before. Jordan never played baseball before. And this is just a passion thing. I think some people are looking too much into this. Like, I don't think he's like trying to like go pro, like Jordan and Tebow was. I think he's just going out there just like, you know what? I don't even think he looks at it as like professional. I think he just looks at this as just like some rec league. Like, you know what? I'm just going to go out here, make like 20 grand a year just playing baseball. Like, these guys don't even play baseball for full time. This isn't even like a minor league. It's not even a minor league.
It's a summer league for college players so they can, get reps in. It's fine. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, who cares? He wants to live out his dream. He wants to play baseball. Let him play baseball. Obviously, he's not playing football, so it's not like he's training for minicamp or some shit. It's fine. If you know anything about Golden Tate's super confidence guy. Like, he maybe confidence above his ability, maybe. But he's productive. He's a productive, player in the NFL. He's fine. I'm not saying like he's a superstar. Like this guy's gonna be Hall of Famer, but he's productive. Was a productive guy, super confident.
He was in one Pro Bowl, and then he was always a number 2. He was.
If I had a chance to go to baseball, like right now, I would try because baseball. Your careers are longer, so whatever. You just go play. You see, you have fun. You go out. You meet people. Maybe you put it.
Gabe, would you leave your job right now to go play for the lefties?
Yeah. So it's fine. Whatever.
No, would you? You would leave your job right now to go.
Right now, I mean, if they wanted me to get there, it's a summer league, so they're probably playing for fun. It's not for cash money. Yeah, it's not like a AAA team or something. It's a semi-pro kind of league.
Yeah, I thought he could at least get into some sort of minor league team. And that's what I thought it was. I thought he got into a minor league team. But I saw it was just a summer. Like, when I saw the summer league thing, I'm like, is this even like – the dude just sounds retired. Like, he sounds like he's retired and just playing beer league. Like, it sounds like – but I guess I looked into it. Yeah, you said it's like some college – it's like for college players to play or something, like when fall
they get
ball
reps in. You go pitch, you go hit, you still stay busy in the off season. Obviously we're in the middle of summer, school's out, so.
Maybe this is a warm up season for a shot at a single A team.
Who knows?
I'm sure some team out there will give him some team in like fucking
some minor league team is going to guy him just to get the guy so you can have a face.
Yeah, some single A minor league team in Boise, Idaho is going to give him a shot. Like
some shit, I don't know.
Sunbeamers, the River Cats.
Yeah.
Like,
but that'll be it. I think that covers it for this weekend. I mean, I'm still hyped. There's other stuff going on. Like, we'll see tonight. Like I said, Celtics play tonight. UFC's coming up, UFC 276. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but we'll be looking forward to that. The Saints going to be fighting any other sports. We got it right here. I'm your boy Gabe. That's Julian. Real Fans Podcast. Where can the people find us? They're looking for us. So where can they find us?
They can find us anywhere you get podcasts. If you find us on YouTube, which you more than likely have, we're anywhere you get podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, so on and so forth. There's a couple other ones out there that I guess some people use, like internationally. I never heard of them. I think Overcast, but regardless, we're on it. And then, if you want to check out our socials, we're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm trying to get the Facebook going. I've been posting on there, so guys, go check out that content.
All right, we appreciate all the downloads, all the subscriptions, all the views. We appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Hopefully, we'll have Jojo here next week. We'll be talking about more about sports, MLB, NHL, all this stuff. That's what news. That's telling me I gotta go. I'm sorry. It's the rigging. All my bells rigging. Oh, I gotta.